record before here we go. Now we're recording. Okay. She texted me around 7:30 because she didn't have service until they got back into the US. She says, we're in America now. We'll be home around 9. So who's that on the iPhone? Is that you, Susan?
It is.
Hi, dear.
Hey,
We're waiting for Bunny. I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of people on here live tonight. Everybody seems to be busy on Saturdays now with the holidays, but that's okay.
Okay.
I would rather, honestly, since I'm ready, I would rather do it now. I might be going someplace after class, so if I can stay awake.
I know it. I know the very feeling.
We were just talking to Joyce. I was talking to Joyce about we might start class like an hour earlier from now on.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. So we're waiting for Bunny. I don't know where Miss Bunny is. Bunny was supposed to be joining us tonight. Hold on. Let me see if she responded to the
And I'm going to go ahead and mute myself.
Okay, honey.
All right, doll.
I want to say something quick, though, before you do that.
Okay.
You said you had a work form, right?
Yes.
Wreath form with the toys already attached?
I do.
Okay. That's fine. I actually prefer those now. I'm going to start using those from now on. That's what I made my my gingerbread wreath out of, and also my snowman one. I ran out, though. I only bought 2. So what I'm going to do tonight with mine, I'm just wiping off my screen. What I'm going to do tonight with mine is I just have a Dollar Tree form. Hold on a second. Let me get my camera back in front of me here.
Okay.
I just have a Dollar Tree form. I didn't put any ties on it because what I'm probably going to do is make my bundles with my spirals and then attach my pipe cleaner and then attach it to my form. But don't worry, if you've got a work form, just roll your bundles like I do and just attach them to the ties that are already there. It doesn't really matter. You can do it with the ties already attached.
Yeah, I have one of each.
You do? You have what?
I have one of each. So I'll use mine that has the already on it.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to start buying those from now on because I made my last 2 wreaths. And it just makes a really full wreath. If you could see how big that gingerbread wreath is, it's so nice and full. But I ran out. I only bought 2. But like I said, I actually didn't have time to attach my ties. So I'm just going to make my bundles and then wrap my pipe cleaner around my bundle and then attach it to my wreath form. But like I said, if you guys already have the work form, just attach it to your pipe cleaner that's on your form. That's fine. But I think we're going to get started.
Okay, dear.
I'm not quite sure where Miss Bunny is, but that's okay. She'll pop on when she gets here. Okay. You can see my snowman. There's my snowman one. You can see how big it is. It's so huge. It's gigantic. And my gingerbread one is in the living room.
Oh, he's precious.
What happened to my video here? Hold on. I stopped my video. I don't know what I hit.
Left us.
I thought Bunny came in the room.
Okay. I'm going to take you guys into my living room for a minute. So
Okay.
you want to see my Christmas tree?
Yes.
Oops. Because I decorated today. I did some more decorating. We're walking through my kitchen right now. That's my kitchen. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, wait a minute. Can't see it.
You can't see it?
No.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Very pretty.
Oh, it's so pretty, Christina.
Oh, thank you. And then here's all my decorations. There's my ornament wreath.
Oh, my.
Remember that, Susan?
Oh, I sold my ornament wreath.
Oh, did you?
For $85.
For how much?
$85.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then here's the gingerbread one. And it's dark in here. You can see how big it is.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that.
This is actually a wreath I made like 15 years ago, but look how tiny that one is compared to that one.
Uh-huh.
And then here we are with the rest of my living room, and there's all that, and there's my kids' messy room. You can't see in there. Oops. That's all, and that's just like a little thing I did today. It's dark in here. And there's my sleeping
Nice.
doggie.
It's very
She-
nice.
There she is.
Oh, look at that
All right.
baby.
So that's a quick tour of my house. Here's my snowman sitting on my kitchen table here.
Oh, he's cute too.
I've got crafts everywhere. I have no room to put any more stuff. There's my swag.
Oh, that's
I've
beautiful.
got stuff all over my house.
So
So
pretty.
there's the quick tour.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And there's another wall in my,
Oh, my Lord.
got stuff everywhere.
Oh, my.
Bonnie, did you see my tour? Bonnie's here.
I'm going to
I took everybody on a
mute
tour of
myself.
my house, Bonnie.
I saw. I got on just as you were walking. I saw your Christmas tree. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I did some decorating today, more decorating. Okay. Did you hear what I was explaining, Bunny? I don't know when you got on about, close my door. And I was explaining about if you don't have, what kind of a wreath form that you're using tonight. I think Susan's got a work wreath form. She's got the one that's got the ties already attached. That's fine. If you've already got your pipe cleaners on your wreath form, that's fine too. I didn't have a chance to put mine on. So all I'm going to do is when I roll my spirals, I'm just going to attach my pipe cleaner and then attach the pipe cleaner to the form. You can do it either way. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to start buying the work wreath forms from now on because I like them. And what I did also, this was totally last minute. Don't worry about it if you didn't do it. I had some emerald green mesh that I found that was left over from my Christmas tree. I'm going to put a little bit of this in with the jute mesh, with the tan, the natural. Don't worry if you don't have that. I just thought it might look nice with a little bit of green in there. So if all you have is the natural, that's totally fine. If you're just watching this video afterwards, you can maybe add a little bit of red as well. So
I bought red and white.
What's that?
I bought red and white.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, very pretty. Yeah, I was looking at the picture again, and I noticed that the picture had some red and green in it, and I didn't have any red. And so I literally just cut this mesh, this green mesh, about an hour ago. So this is the spiral method. I know you guys have all seen the spiral method. If you made the tomato cage Christmas tree with us, what's that?
We lost you.
I'm going to mute everybody here. If you were in the tomato cage Christmas tree class, that's what we did with that class. We just rolled the mesh into spirals, and I'm just trying to get a good view here of my camera. Whoops, there we go. We rolled the mesh into spirals and we attached them to the tree. So this is just all this is. You're just rolling up your mesh and attaching it. You can either attach it right to your wreath form, or you can attach it to the pipe cleaner and then attach to your wreath form. It really doesn't matter. So now, the one thing I don't like about this kind of mesh is you cannot cut it with the wood burning tool. I like to use my wood burning tool, and I know, Joyce, you mentioned a little while ago to me in a text that you want to know how to use a rotary cutter. I really don't use a rotary cutter. I bought one, but it doesn't work very well for me. I think I just need to get a new one. I think the one I got, there's something wrong with it. It's just not sharp and it doesn't cut very well. So if I'm cutting regular mesh, I use my wood burning tool. If you have never seen one of those before, this is what it looks like. It's kind of like a soldering iron. I don't know if you can see the end at all, but it's got one end it's kind of slanted. You can see that. And I use that when I cut regular mesh. You still have to get in between the lines of the mesh, but it will not cut through jute mesh because it's got the burlap running through it. So what I did was I used my regular scissors and it's still coming apart a little bit. I used my regular scissors and I just tried to cut in between the lines. It took me a little while. It wasn't very easy, but that's that. So let's get started. I think I'm going to do 3 per tie. So just start rolling your mesh. I think I'm going to, just have it facing up like that because it's going to naturally roll. Try to pinch it in the middle as you're rolling. Don't worry so much about the ends because if you're pinching it in the middle really tight, then the rest of it will roll tight as well. Now, if you're like me, I can't hold one piece in my finger while I roll another one. So I usually have to try to find something to hold it down with while I'm rolling the other ones. And let me see, I think this worked pretty well for me the last time I did it. I just used my Sam's Club ribbon to hold it down. Now I think I'm going to do a tan and then I'm going to do a green and then another tan. So I'm going to do the green in the middle. Let's see how that looks. I'm going to see how it looks first because this is a metallic green. And the jute mesh is obviously not metallic, it's just jute. Put that there and let it sit. I can't believe how much snow that everyone in the south is getting. We haven't gotten any yet here. Okay. So I've got the green in the middle and I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my pipe cleaner. And again, if you've already got your pipe cleaners attached, that's fine. If you're going to do it this way, what I find works for me, because you want your spirals to be sticking up, okay? I put the pipe cleaner on and then I pull it up with my fingers and then I twist. Now, as you get your mesh on here and get it all squished together, it is going to start pushing each other up. It'll just start squishing together naturally. So I'm just going to start trying to think if I want to do the outside bar and the inside bar. What ties are your, I think your ties are on your inside and your outside, I'm pretty sure, on the work wreath form. So I think I'm just going to do, what bars do I want to put this on? I think I'm going to do this bar and I'm going to do this bar. So I'm going to do the second from the outside. If you're doing a wreath form like me from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to do the second from the outside. I'm going to do the inside. That's where I'm going to put. So I'm going to start on the bar, the second bar. Doesn't really matter where you start. Since we're not going to be adding any ribbon, it doesn't really matter. If you have ties on the top, just and I could probably even cut these in half. I could probably even cut my pipe cleaners in half because I'm not going to need a full pipe cleaner. But if you have ties on the top, if you have a work wreath form, you can just, either tuck those behind. All right, so you see how they're kind of laying flat right now, but once we get more on here, they'll start to push up. Just kind of pinch it in the middle. Roll it as tight as you can. Where's my green? This method is nice too because it hides your cut ends. This stuff is really springy. I think that's the first time I ever took you guys on a tour of my house. But I wanted you to see my Christmas decorations. Now I feel like since I cut it in half, I don't have enough. I feel like I had enough when I had a full one, and I cut it in half, and now I don't have enough, so maybe I won't cut them in half. I'm just going to put it right next to the other one. Oops, I just keep squishing them together. That's definitely not enough pipe cleaner. I don't know why it seemed like I had so much when I had a full one, and now I have a half and I don't have enough. Just push it over. And again, as you keep squishing them together, they'll push each other up. They'll start standing up. You get more on there. Stay. I was watching Hardworking Mom. If anybody has seen Hardworking Mom's videos, she's a good friend of mine, Lori Riley Jacobs. She's got a YouTube channel, and she was doing a New Year's Eve or New Year's wreath, and she was doing a method I'd never seen before. I should have shared it in the group so she could see it. She had 21-inch mesh, and she rolled it like this. So just pretend this is 21-inch mesh, and she took 4 inches on either side, okay, and she attached each of these pieces to her ties, and then there was a poof in the middle. So she had a spiral and then a poof and then a spiral, and it came out so pretty. I'll have to share that video in the group so you could see. I'd never seen that method before. I don't know if I want to use these little short ones, but I probably should since I already cut them. So I always do that, and I just push it up with my fingers. Yeah, I just started doing all white lights on my tree a couple of years ago. I used to always do colored lights. This is why I like the work forms, because the pipe cleaners don't slide around like they do on a regular wreath. I'm going to start buying those from now on, I think. Once I get enough on there, they'll squish each other together and they'll stay. Someone said that they use if you remember the Bow Dabra, they use the Bow Dabra to keep their spirals or their mesh pieces in place. If you feel like you need more, like if you feel like you don't have enough bundles or spirals, you can always add another tie. Like if you have the work wreath form, you can always add another tie and add another bundle. That's totally fine. Like right now, I can just add as many as I want until it's as full as I want it to be. But if you have a work form, you're limited to the amount of ties that are on that work form, but not really limited because you can always add more. I don't like these half ties. They're too short for me. That red and white's going to be pretty, Joyce. I can't wait to see that. I'm just going to get my regular size pipe cleaner here and use that. It's just easier for me to twist it. And I'm just going to keep adding it until it's as full as I want it to be. And then we'll count when we're done and see how many we have. Ouch. I'm just plugging my laptop in before it dies on me here. I always forget to do that. Are we charging here or no? Please charge. There we go. I think I'm going to add one more on there. You can go through when you're done and you can adjust your spirals. I'm picking off phrase, that's what I do. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Joyce, you mentioned the rotary cutter. I really would rather do a class on how to use the wood burning tool because it will be your best friend when it comes to cutting mesh. I'm actually going to be using my wood burning tool to cut my poly burlap for my tree. And the reason why the wood burning tool is nice is because it seals the edges as it cuts. So if you have sealed edges on your mesh, you won't get frays. It still frays a little, but not nearly as much as if you use scissors or a rotary cutter. And a rotary cutter is still good to use if it's nice and sharp. All mesh is going to fray. It's inevitable. You just try to keep it to a minimum. I'm trying to see how many bundles I have on here. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 bundles. I think that's pretty good. 7 bundles is pretty good per section. That's what I have, and I have 3 per bundle. So that's pretty compact in there. And when we go around the outside, and then we're going to go around the inside, you're going to see how they're all just going to start sticking straight up. That's just one section. Look how full that is. And that's why it looks like there's no center in the wreath, because it's just so full. My daughter yells at me. She's like, "Mom, how come none of your wreaths have holes in the middle?" Well, because that's how you look nice and full. You don't always have to have a hole in the middle. I guess I could cut some of these off now, just to get them out of the way. Make sure you have it twisted enough before you start cutting them off. I'm not saying too much tonight. I apologize. I'm deep in thought here. I'm doing my spirals.
So are we.
I know. I'm usually Miss Chatty Cathy here. I'm just thinking. It's a good time to think is when you're doing your crafts. I don't really make too many of the spiral wreaths. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't want to say that it's time consuming. It's no more time consuming than if you were making a ruffle. But I'll tell you something right now. I really love the 30-inch ruffles that I made the other day. It just makes such a full wreath. Less cuts because you're making 30-inch pieces, obviously. So you're not going to have as many cuts out of your roll with a big 30-inch piece. You only need one ruffle per tie because they're so full. That one and the no-cut ruffle are my favorite methods now. I don't really like the poof all that much. I don't know why. I can never get my poofs to come out. I usually make smaller poofs when I do the poof method. And I am going to do that square wreath bunny. I know you guys were waiting for that one. And that one, like I said, I have a tendency to make my poofs a little smaller and I squish them together just because I prefer them that way. How many do I have on this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do 2 more. I'm thinking I might not even need to do another row. This is really full. But yours may look a little bit different than mine, Susan, because you have the work wreath form and you have an 18-inch form, I think you said. So my
Yeah.
wreath,
Yeah.
my wreath form is only 14 inches. What's that?
Yeah, it is. Let me see. How big is it? I can't tell now because it's 36 inches.
Oh, wow.
I've got
Well, that's okay.
mesh all over it.
But what I was saying, like you can see how I've only got it on that second ring. And once I get around the whole thing, I might not even need to do another row.
That's true.
It
That
may
looks
just
so
totally,
pretty.
thank you. It may just totally fill in. I want to fix my green though. I want to get my green to be a little more in between my tan, but I'll fix that later. Mess with it when I'm done so I don't have any.
Yeah.
That was my goal. I wanted to get like, green sort of like popped in and out there, instead of right next to each other. But I don't think I might not even have to do another row. I have to see.
I don't think you will.
Yeah, because this is a small wreath form. This is only 14 inches, so we'll have to see how that looks when I'm done. I wasn't even planning on using the green. I was just going to use my tan. But I found the green and I thought, I'm going to use some green. But it seems like it wants to stay together. I don't want like a bunch of green in one spot. I want it to be like mixed.
Spread out.
It's not really working out that way. I don't really want to pull it too much because I don't want it to. I'll worry about that after. I'm already pulling out frays here. Where's my other tan? Okay, I need to get some more tan over here. I ran into Hobby Lobby yesterday to get some of the plastic canvas for the tree, for the burlap tree, and they don't really have any Christmas stuff left at all. It was kind of sad. I grabbed a couple of rolls of gold 10-inch mesh to use for our Happy New Year wreath. I got it, I think, really cheap. It was like $3 a roll. But they have, a lot of the Christmas aisles have other stuff in them now. They took all the Christmas away. I hope we get a little bit of snow soon. I need a little bit of snow for Christmas, and then it can all melt. January 1st, it can all melt.
We had our first snow here in South Carolina yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And it was just a dusting.
Uh-huh.
And I promise you, the city was paralyzed.
I know. I hear that, even if it's only a little bit.
It is a hoot.
Used to it down there.
It is so funny. And we all go by milk and bread.
Really?
Yep. I don't know why.
You guys would not be able to survive up here then, because we get feet of snow.
No, we couldn't stand it.
We had quite a bit this time last year. We had several feet. I remember we got snow early. We got it in November. We don't have any yet, just a little bit. Like you said, we had a dusting. This is something I probably should be doing when my wreath is done, but I always play with it. You got to be careful how much you play with it, though, because the more you handle mesh, the more that it frays. So try to play with it minimally. But I kind of like the way that green looks in there with the natural. I'm trying to find some ideas for after Christmas, not just necessarily Valentine's Day. I'm trying to find a really pretty, and this is something I always struggled with after Christmas anyway. Even before I started, the group, I always would get very sad after the holidays when all the decorations came down and the house just looked so empty. And I was always looking for ways to decorate for after the holidays. So I'm actually looking for wreath ideas, like winter wreaths. I saw a really pretty one made with white deco mesh, and it had a little bit of turquoise in it. And it was just so gorgeous. Thinking about
Christine,
that. Yeah.
could we do that cardinal
Oh,
wreath?
yes. That's a great idea. The red cardinal wreath. That's an awesome idea. You
Yeah.
can still do balsam. You can
Oh,
still do
yeah.
balsam wreaths after Christmas.
Yes,
That would be
so pretty.
fantastic. I'd love to do the
So
cardinal
pretty.
wreath. Yes.
Let me mute myself again.
What's that?
I said, let me mute myself again.
Okay. So that's 2 sections I have. That's only 2 sections. Look how full that is. That's what I mean when you start getting more on here and squishing them together, they just naturally push themselves up. And that's how you want a spiral wreath to look. I remember the very first time I saw a spiral wreath. And I have to be honest, a spiral wreath was the very first wreath I ever saw when I first joined one of the wreath groups back in April. And I was like, what the heck is that? How did you do that? And she's like, they're just spirals, because she'd been doing it for a while. And so it really wasn't like any, big deal for her. I was like, spirals? What? What is that stuff? I didn't even know what deco mesh was. And what did you use to make those? And that's when it all started. That's when I discovered mesh and all the groups and different methods, and was up until 2 o'clock in the morning watching YouTube videos. The obsession began. And I actually found a garland in my Christmas decorations that I had bought last year on clearance. And they're red berries. And I snipped some of them off because I'm just going to put some of the red berries in between the spirals, and I think that's going to look really pretty. I'll show you in a second. You can add ribbons and bows to spirals if you want. Do whatever you want. I want to make a pine cone wreath too. I saw a really pretty pine cone wreath, and they were painted different colors of blue, and there was white. I thought it was really pretty. These are the berries that I snipped off my garland. So those are pretty. Use those. And I also have this that I got. Oops. I just grabbed this from Lowe's, and it's got a little bit of pine on it and some pine cones. I'm going to put those in here and there. You could even stick ornaments in here if you want to. Whatever you want to do. And I always encourage everyone when they are in one of my classes, you don't need to make it exactly like mine. Make it your own. I hope I don't need to cut more green. I feel like I'm going to run out of green. It's very possible. I only cut one roll of green because I didn't think I was going to need as much green as the natural. I'm thinking that I might. As my row of green is getting smaller here. Whoops, and there they all go. One slip of the hand and you lose everything. But if I have to cut more green, then you guys can see me use the wood burning tool. That'll be fun. I have to tell you guys, I'm really thankful for my regular members like you that participate, on a regular basis. It's very frustrating for me when I get somebody new that joins, and I know everyone's busy, but I hate to have to keep reminding people, that this this is a group with classes, you know, you're here because you want to learn, you know, you need to participate, and I have to email people and remind everybody all the time, and I don't want to be mean, you know, but that's why you're here.
Christine,
Yes, ma'am.
my wreath form is not completely filled, and I'm wondering if I can add some pipe cleaners.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Okay.
If you're putting your ties in, or you're putting your mesh in your ties,
Mm-hmm.
and you find that you have gaps, just
Mm-hmm.
grab a pipe cleaner, and you could even do it the way I just did it. If you want to just get your spirals and then wrap your pipe cleaner around it and then attach your pipe cleaner to
Okay.
that base, or put the pipe cleaner on first. You can
Okay.
definitely do that. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay.
Sometimes I find it easier to roll my spiral on, just roll it up on my shirt. That's why you can't really see me doing it. I apologize. Instead of doing it on the table. Two more on this section. I'm doing 7 per section. If you're doing it the way I am, and you're attaching your pipe cleaner, and then, oh, excuse me, making your, what the heck am I grabbing here? Oh, here we go. If you're doing it the way I'm doing it, I'm able to fit 7 in per section here, and it's making it pretty full. How did this come out? I twisted it pretty good. There we go. Actually, I might not be able to get 7 in this one. It's getting pretty full. I think I have 6 in this one. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit another one, because they really just start pushing on each other. I think that section is done. Yes, look at that. I still have 3 more sections to go. There's my daughters. I hear my daughters coming home from Canada. You're going to hear my doggy howling in a little while. 4-hour drive there and back. But they're young. They can deal with it. They can handle it. They're probably really tired. Why does it keep popping out like that? Hold on, I'm not twisting it enough. There we go. Again, I'm just using the second ring. If you're doing it like me, you're watching this video after and you don't have a work wreath form and you're adding your pipe cleaners, I'm using the second ring, this one here, to add my pipe cleaners to, and I think that's going to be good. I don't think I'm going to need to do another ring. I am adding 3 spirals and it's really pretty full. That's really pretty though. I like it with the green like that. I can't wait to see yours, Joyce, again with the white and the red. It's going to be gorgeous. It really doesn't matter what color pipe cleaner you use if you're doing it this way because you're not going to see it anyway. I'm using silver just because I had it. I had a bunch of them. And I want to save my green pipe cleaners for my tree tomorrow. You know what I think I might start doing now? I might not put a green in every center. Yeah, but then it might not look right if I do that. If I have to cut more green, I'll cut more green. No biggie. I don't like the way that one rolled. I gotta re-roll that one. Oh, poo. My ruffle came out on my spiral. I want it nice and tight. There, stay together. I should go to my sister's and try to find my Bodabra. Everybody uses those to hold their pieces together. Oh, they roll. I know I have one somewhere from years ago. Hey Cheryl, I didn't even know you popped on. When did you get here? I just looked up and I see you. I see your face.
I've been here since the very beginning, about 7:05.
Oh, really? I didn't even know
Yep.
you were here.
Yep.
How are you?
Well, I'm good. I was all prepared to do this class, and I went shopping with my daughter, and um, she lost her credit card and her debit card. So
Oh no.
we spent the day retracing our steps trying to find it, and so that prevented me from prepping for the class. So,
Oh geez. What
oh,
did she ever find it or?
well, we called all the stores we went to and stopped at all the stores we went to try to retrace our steps. And one store found one card, and she had already canceled both of them, so she's without any money this
Oh
weekend.
no.
Yeah.
Oh geez, that stinks. How did
So,
she, like, did it like fall out of her purse or what happened?
well, she
You
didn't
know?
bring a purse. That was the problem. She had it in her
Oh geez.
pocket. Yeah, and she took her
Oh.
phone out of the pocket, and the cards came out with it too. So,
Yeah, that actually happened to me once. That's the worst thing you can possibly do is put your card in your pocket.
yeah, I even offered to put it in my purse. I said, that you shouldn't be carrying it like that, but no, mother's never right. So,
How old is she?
she's 24.
Yeah, mine are about that age too. They know everything.
Yeah, exactly. So my plan was to come home about 2 hours before class and cut my mesh and be all ready. And nope, didn't work out.
So you can
But
see
I'm
that I'm adding green then. I wasn't planning on adding green, and I apologize for that if I didn't tell anybody ahead of time. I just sort of like decided at the last minute I was going to add green. So,
Well, I know you said you were going to make
but
it like the one that you had the picture, but I'm going to do natural and red like you're doing. So we'll see
yeah,
how
yeah,
we'll
and
see
I
how it
think
turns
Joyce
out.
is doing red and natural. Yep, I
Oh,
just had the green.
okay, cute. Joyce, you'll
Thanks.
have to show me yours.
This thing is huge. I thought I had a piece I had to pull, but I don't know where it went. There it is. All right, where am I now? Yeah, I'm going to have to cut some more green. I don't know if I really want to get my wood burning tool out though, because then I have to take everything off my table and put my glass on. I don't know if I'm really going to have room to do that. Whoops. I may just have to use my scissors. I'll cut all these off after. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't quite get 7 on anymore. I was able to get 7 on per section when I started, but for some reason now it's just so full I can't get 7 on. So I was going to show you how to use the wood burning tool, but now that I think about it, hold on one second for me. I have a piece of mesh stuck to my foot. Isn't that cute? Decorate it? Put a little bomb on it. Yeah, that candle looks like a little recording here. I'm here, guys. Cheryl, did you see me show everybody a tour of my house? Were you here for that?
No, that's what I missed.
Oh, it was just like an impromptu walkthrough of my house.
Oh, darn, I missed it.
I
I'll
did
watch
some
the video.
decorating today. What's that?
I'll watch the video.
I usually have my house all decorated by now, but with doing the classes and prepping and all that, I just have been a little bit behind. So I stayed home today and I just decorated and I cut my mesh. I just decided to add the green though, like an hour before class. So I thought I would have enough if I just cut one roll, but apparently I didn't. So no worries. That's enough in that section. So I started out putting 7 per section, 7 bundles, but now I'm only able to fit 6. So that's just how that worked out. It just got so full. All right, let me move this for a minute because I'm going to cut a few more pieces of the green. Let me find out where I put that. In my little corner here. Uh-oh, just fell over. So I'm just going to use the scissors. I'm not going to worry too much about it fraying because we're rolling it. If you really want to take your time, you can cut with the scissors in between the lines too, which isn't as easy to do, but you can do it. As long as you get in between the lines, you're not going to have to worry so much, but I'm not really going to have time to do that right now. I just want to get some more pieces cut. I'm upside down. What do I have here? I need to get a bigger mat. I want one of the really big ones. I'm not going to go too crazy. Next time I'll know to be more prepared. We will have a class on the wood burning tool, I promise. I was thinking about maybe even recording cutting my mesh for the tree, but it's not mesh, it's poly burlap. But how many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm trying to find a really good rotary cutter to buy too. I don't really use the rotary cutter that much. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 more. That should be good. Okay. Oops, where'd my picture go? There I am. Okay. My handprint. Pretty neat, huh? Can you tell I'm getting tired? There's that. We got the home stretch. I don't like when it does that. I don't like when it rolls unevenly. And I can already see that's fraying because I didn't use the wood burning tool, but I'm not going to stress over it. I promise I will not stress. This is a non-stress moment. I apologize if you can't really see what I'm doing. I'm just standing it up because it's easier. So I can see the back and twist it. I don't think there's any way I would have had enough of my mesh to go around a second time. Anyway. I hope you don't run out there, Miss Susan. I feel like I've already gone through 2 rolls here.
I've gone through 3.
Have you really? I
Yeah.
apologize for that.
Hey, don't. And
Thought
it's
2 would
great.
be
I mean, it's
enough.
really full, and it looks
How
like
did you get 3 done so fast? You're working really fast over there.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
And you're putting 3 spirals per.
I am.
Holy crap, you're fast.
Well,
You're showing me up.
yeah, that's my whole point. That was my
See?
whole
So you're
intention.
going to start doing the classes now.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You sure?
No, I'm positive.
All
I
right.
like you. I like the way you teach.
You do, huh?
Yes, I do.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
For anybody that's watching this video after the fact, you might want to consider buying an extra roll of mesh because it looks like 2 is not going to be enough. I mean, I have 3 here with the green, so I'm going to have to go adjust the supply list. I apologize in advance. What colors do you have, Susan? Do you have just the natural? That really frayed this one piece. I'm not using that one.
No, I'm using the natural, and then I've got this kind of a moss green.
Oh, nice.
It turned out really well. Now I
Can't wait to
can't
see
find
it.
my wire cutters, but I'll find them. Oh, I see them.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Yeah, some of this green is fraying pretty bad now because I didn't use my wood burning tool, but I'm gonna just get these on here so I don't have to worry about it. Not gonna let it bother me. This thing is huge. Okay. Almost full. That's a big boy or girl, however you want to look at it. I think I'm going to run out of my natural too. This is the end of my second roll. I have one more bundle that I can make, so I may need to go out and buy another roll of the jute mesh. I'm going to be a little bit short. I don't need another full roll, so I'm going to just have to use part of it and then the rest for another project.
Oh my God.
Like that. Is that you, Miss Bunny?
I think so. Did you say something?
I only have enough of this left to make one more bundle. So I don't think it's really even going to be that noticeable, but I'm going to notice it, and I'm just going to have to go back and fill in the rest later.
Christina,
Yeah.
I'm going to go take a picture of mine.
Okay.
I didn't want you to think I just up and left. I'll be right back.
All right, honey.
All right.
Yeah, this is my last bundle. So I actually have more room on that last section here to add more, but I ran out of my jute. I'm just short a couple of pieces, and that is life. That happens, but it's okay. It's only one section. Like I said, this thing is just so darn full, you really can't even tell that much, but I can tell because I like my spirals to be sticking straight up. And if you don't have enough in one section, they're going to end up laying to the side. And that's not what you want. You want them to be sticking up. I wonder if I even have some more jute mesh here somewhere. I feel like I have some more from a wreath that I made over the summer. It might be with my summer my summer supplies. I'll have to go and look. Like I said, you really can't even tell that I'm short like a few pieces in this section down here. This is the section over here that I'm short a few pieces. And it's really kind of hard to tell looking at it from your view. And maybe you can tell, but because a lot of them aren't sticking straight up like I'd like them to be. But it still looks pretty nice for being a little bit short on one side, I think. Not bad at all. But I think I'm going to do anyway. I still think I want to add some stuff to it. And then I'll just fill in the rest later. But that is nice and full. And I like the way the green looks in there as well. Plug my glue gun in. And this can be put away. Yeah, we'll have to, I can still add some more of that section after. It's not a big deal. So there. You can see how they're all sticking straight up over here, which is how you want it. You want them to be. They're just laying a little bit down, a little bit more over here because I ran out. And I'd like to just adjust them a little bit because I don't really want two greens next to each other, but you know what? Doesn't look that bad. I think it looks kind of nice. I'm gonna hold that a minute so I can look at it. I think I do have some more jute mesh. I need to look. I might have some more without having to go buy some more. Whoops. Stay there so I can look at you for a minute. You can always spray your wreath with a little adhesive spray if you want to set it and not have to worry about the phrase. Totally fine. Cut my pieces off here. So make sure you have it twisted enough before you start cutting off your excess. Everything gets thrown on the floor. I'm just going to finish cutting these off later. I'll just tuck them down for now. This is the section that's a little short over here. Whoops. Blurry. Okay, so what I was going to do, I'm wondering now if I want to glue anything in just yet until I finish that, adding more pieces over here. I think I can go ahead and glue some stuff. Why I keep getting blurry is beyond me. Annoying. Okay. So what I have, just some very simple little berries that I was just going to stick. And the wire cutters. I don't really want to add a lot to this. Whoop. I've had this garland that I cut these berries off of for a very long time. I thought someday I'd have a use for them. I'm placing these now. I'm not going to glue these yet because I just want to see if I like the way they are. Just adding them here and there. They stick out a little bit. I don't like that piece. I'm not going to use that one. All the good wire cutters I have here, huh? Kind of trying to, I was going to say I wasn't going to place them near the green, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So they stick out a little bit here and there. You could add ornaments if you want to. You could add a bow. It's entirely up to you. It's not snipping. Don't want to add too many of these. I'm not gluing them yet because I want to see how they look where they are. And then I will glue them after. I'm looking up at my laptop here, so. Just a little bit of color. Doesn't have to be perfect. Use your imagination. I have some little pine cones I want to add too. You can't even see that one down there. Let's see. Oops. I think that's good for the berries. I don't really want to overdo it with the berries. Just a little pop of color there is really all you're looking for. That's good for now. I also have some pine cones. This came from Lowe's, this whole sprig came from Lowe's. It's time for some new wire cutters. Let's see. There's 3 pine cones. You don't need a lot. There's berries on here too, but I don't really think I need these berries. I do want to cut a little bit of this green off though. I like this green. If I can get it off. This is really thick on here. I might have to just cut it down here and add it that way. Just a little bit of green sticking out there. That'll work. Come on. I'll put him over here. A little green up here. I got one more of these green sprigs here. This whole piece here came from Lowe's with all the pine cones and the little pine sprigs. That's a good deal. Let's see, I got one there, one there, one there. I guess I need one down here now. Make it even. Well, that's that. What do you guys think? Again, I'm going to probably do some adjustment. It's hard for me to tell when I'm looking at it on my laptop. What do you think?
I like it.
For real?
Beautiful.
I love it too. It's really pretty. It's rustic and I love it.
Yes, rustic. Where'd this one come from? I think he was supposed to be up here. There you go. Again, I'm probably going to mess with it a little bit, rearrange some things. A lot of times when I get it hanging on my wall, it's easier for me to see. So even though I am short, some ruffles, I don't even know, or some spirals, I don't even remember where I was short. Honestly, I think it was over here somewhere. You really can't even tell. I can't anyway. If you guys can, please tell me. But nothing's glued on. I'm going to glue all these on after. And we'll be good. Any suggestions? Anything that you guys think I should do that might be a little different? Or I'm always open to ideas. Anyone? All right, guys.
No, it's beautiful.
Thank you. I want to see a picture of yours there, Miss Susan. And you too, Joyce, when you're done.
Well, mine is hanging on the wall, and it's I'm trying to decide what it needs.
That's exactly what I have to do with mine. I'm going to glue my pieces on, then I'm going to hang it up and see what I need to do with it. But okay, great guys. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow night for anyone that's going to be joining the tree class. And have a great night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night, guys.
You.
Thank you. Bye.